It came right on. I'm always surprised when OBS comes on as soon as I turn it on. It usually doesn't. I have this open, so I'll show you it. Because people have asked, and usually I've already got it closed before I start, because this takes up a lot of space, memory, even on my computer. But this is where I get all the screenshots that you see. How I get them is this software program. I take the video files and put them in here. I'll move you because I can't see. There we go. Now you can see it. The video files. And I can take out one frame at a time and save it as a screenshot, individual stills from. That's why they're much higher quality than, no, I don't need to say it. That's why they're much higher quality than what you see from a regular screenshot where somebody does the whole taking screenshots with their keyboard while the game is running. Then I edit them over here. You open them up, end up over here. This template that I've got this in is how I get the triple ones. See, once you've spliced 3 of them out of the video, I can drop them into this. I'll have to do a tutorial because this is just showing you it. And if you edit videos enough, you can figure out what I'm doing. But if you've never done it before, then you'd be very confused. Don't know what I'm doing. Rascal's helping. He just typed something. He stepped on the keyboard. That picture is now going to be in here. I put it in here. There it is. And there it is. And I make a few hundred of those every day, which is why there are so many of them on my website. What you see on my profile is a very small percentage of them. Now, after doing all that, I don't know if we need the game mode. Let's get the game mode. I was noticing that this expired. When did it expire? It expired in September. September 10th, 2020. Rascal's doing rascal things. He just went running through. I clicked on you to load and you didn't load. There you go. I figured it was going to do that, but then it didn't do Uh-huh. Why are you doing that? What'd you do? That was why I just said, I wonder if the game I forgot. I was doing things. Let's see. Where are you? Where's what I was doing things with? I want to see you. There, I see you. You. I was doing things to you. Let's take you back out. Because I think I wasn't done. And I forgot. I was doing it after yesterday, after the game. And now today, is the next day. And I forgot. I was doing stuff with the game because I went to, I went to bed. Now it's a day later. And I forgot I didn't put that file back in because I took out, I made a copy. Always make a copy of your merge file before you try to re-merge, otherwise you won't get the game to load again. Made a copy of it and then was added in next. The horse gallop is messed up. And I was trying to figure out, why is the horse gallop messed up? Yes, and now it's going to load. I haven't played Rings in a while. My brother got a case of Monster the other day. And it had the Reigns logo on it.
By order of the Emperor of Nilfgaard, for the murder of the wounded, looting, cannibalism, you are hereby sentenced to death by hanging.
Where'd we leave off? Oh yeah, Rick, I need to guess. Okay, what? Got an autosave after my regular save?
The curse that held him up proved hard to lift, but Yennefer and the Witchers managed to do it. The ugliest man alive revealed himself to be not man, but elf, and an elven sage at that. Avallac'h, this was his name, was the elven mage who had helped Ciri flee the hunt, then hidden her away from the Isle of Mists.
Beta's attacking something through the glass. I don't see what he's attacking. Beta looks funny in that tank because you got the two big catfish are always in the bottom, so you never see them. They bury themselves under the muck. They're about that big. They're bigger than my hand. So you look in that tank and the only thing you see is a beta. It looks like there's a gigantic tank over there for a beta. Because he's the only one you can see. Avallac'h's missing his head. Let's fix this first. Stop. Stop. There we go. No. Keep clicking outside into my desktop. Is it still raining? I think that's not my down. There you go. I think doesn't that continue to stay raining? I gotta go fix the Geralt topless. Don't keep putting Avallac'h's head back on. Yeah, it's still raining. Oh, you're extremely tired. You actually need to sleep. You do so. You're gonna pass out if you don't. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Since we cast a spell to make it rain, I don't know if it's going to stop raining or not. Is it? Yeah, it's still raining out there. I know my girl's standing over there in the corner. She isn't gonna follow us. I noticed her doing that yesterday. There we go. Now his house is better. These things down in the bottom. It's also a health bar in addition to the regular health bar from the Avallac'h.
She must learn to control her abilities.
He's more likely to die from these than he is the other one. Alright, as you guys go here, could we have drowners with us? I like these bookshelves here. I have a bookshelf almost just like that right there. That's what every time you hear Rascal do this crashing down thing, he climbs up it like it's a ladder and gets up on top of it. And he just kind of tumbles down when he climbs back down from it. He's kind of stupid about how he gets down. And we have several merchants here, but do we need merchants right now? Because we did just sell all of our stuff. We can check and see if they have anything we want to buy. But we've only got a few things to sell.
This? No, it's a tattoo.
Medieval Scandinavian times. Wouldn't they know what a tattoo is? Scandinavian medieval times, I said that backwards. But that was a common thing. Medieval times, Scandinavian people frequently had tattoos. That was just part of their culture. It seems odd that they would ask.
No use doing any work in this rain.
They asked her if she had if that was an injury, didn't they? How did they word it? I can't remember how they worded it. Now this guy is an herbalist, right? Or are you an alchemist? I think you're an herbalist.
Got anything interesting?
You got a lot of stuff. You have food. I'm going to continue to buy food because that is the whole thing we came to. The whole reason we left Kaer was to get food. So, we're going to get food. And we have stuff to sell you. You don't buy anything else. And even though it gives us the alchemy option, it's kind of illogical to do alchemy at this guy who doesn't have any equipment. He's just sitting in front of this building. So we not do alchemy here, just because it is so illogical. Any of these other boxes loadable? There's another merchant inside, though. Let's see if you've got anything else to loot here before we kill them. And I think we can go in this door here, can't we? Yes, we can. So we can look and see. Did you even talk to you yet? We're not going to worry about that. Since we're not actually doing anything with this save file beyond going back to Cameron.
Welcome, welcome.
I think that guy behind you isn't supposed to be behind you, is he?
What have you got there?
You have food as well, but none of it is food we want to buy, right? Yeah, okay. Do you buy any of the stuff we have? You buy those? We'll see that. Yeah, no, we didn't have much to sell because we did just go to a merchant just before we stopped. So, there's our horse waiting for us. Actually, wait. Matt, get off yours. We can swim here. Is there anything in the water here?
I think you will not attack one unarmed.
There's a big skeleton here under the water. Is that the only thing? Okay, the skeleton is lootable. Are you gonna be stuck on it? Wait, did you just get stuck on it? You did, didn't you? Yes, you did. He's doing that thing. Ah, we can go up. Okay. I was thinking that skeleton's the only thing here that's lootable or pickable, ain't it? Can't remember. I don't see anything else. And this water just ends right over here, right? So we can just walk back. There's another merchant over here, though. We could go over there and then walk back to our horse. Yeah, why are there so many broken boats? You don't see that many boats in the game that are not broken. That's kind of illogical.
So we must go east.
I mean, yes, you do see a lot of broken boats in areas where there's a lot of fishermen. But this isn't really an area where there's a lot of fishermen. You would expect that, like, on the docks in Novigrad. Or on the docks in Skellige. Like Kertrolda.
I am not your father.
Because you do see
I
that.
am merely helping Cyrilla.
Places where they have lots of boats, you're going to see lots of broken boats as well. But if you're in a village like this, you're going to see boats in better condition more often than boats just broken. I don't know, is this merchant... It still says it's raining, but... And well, it is thundering, but it's not raining anymore. There's raindrops on the ground. We're wet. But there's no rain falling out of the sky. There he is. And there's a merchant over here somewhere. He wanders around this area. I think he just goes around this square of ground here. He just keeps going back and forth around here.
Greetings.
That was his stopping point. He just turned around and started going the other way.
Look at your stock.
You don't got anything, but you'll buy these things that the other guys didn't buy, so. I ain't got enough money for those, okay. Gotta put that in our stash. I think we should keep the fossils because they dismantle for a lot of stuff that we can sell for way more money than we can sell the fossils. So we'll dismantle them when we find a blacksmith. Alright, now, which way did we leave our horse? And which way were we going? We see plants. We'll pick plants on our way back to our horse. Can we make it storm again? How did I do that? It was alternate odd, right?
Avallac'h stuff.
It's getting darker and thundering out now. Wait, did I get turned around? Was that drowners I see? What am I seeing up there? It's a foglet, right? She just ran up there and killed something, so there's something up here to loot. Let's go grab the loot. I think it's a foglet. Yes, we made it rain again. Okay. There are several mods for removing the rain, removing the dark rain, removing the light rain, making it lighter while it's raining. Clear skies only. Foglets, it loves foglets. A lot of people don't like the rain in this game. I don't know why. It's a big complaint. You go on the Nexus farm and it's a common thing. You see people are like, I hate this type of weather. How do I get rid of this type of weather? It rains too often. And clearly these people don't know what it's like to live in swampland because we live in swampland here. It rains all the time. It does. If you live in swampland, it rains all the time. That's why it's swamp. The ground is always wet because there's always water coming out of the sky. Hey, the water just doesn't appear and turn into swamp for nothing. It always amazes me when tourists show up here and they talk about our trees. Apparently we have more trees than anywhere else in the world. They're just like, they're scared of trees. People have some strange reactions to trees. Like the Ross Road and the Ross Forest. There are so many tourists who will drive all the way around this huge, long, many miles out of their way to avoid driving through the trees on the Ross Road, in the Ross Forest, in Old Orchard Beach, because they believe the trees are going to fall on them while they're driving by. So many hundreds of tourists. That is a complaint. They won't use that road. They are scared of those trees. The trees are all around 130 feet tall. They're also around 500 years old. They're white pines. Another complaint is when people get here and they're like, world's finest beach. World's finest beach. That is how it's billed. And they get here, they're expecting it to be, I don't know, like the world's greatest beach. And that's not what it says. What it actually says is world's finest grains of sand. And there's a plaque down there somewhere. Can't remember where it is. It's near Sackville Avenue. But there's black down there somewhere near the beach, and some group of scientists went around and they studied all the beach sands on all the beaches everywhere on the entire planet. They came to the conclusion world's finest grains of sand are on Old Orchard Beach. You notice it too. If you try to stand on it, you stand on it and you don't want to stand on it. This thing called quicksand. And people expect, oh, we're going to go down here on the beach and lay here on the beach. Oh, you ain't going to lay there on that beach. Oh, no, no, no. You try to lay on that beach, you're going to be down, neck deep in quicksand. Finest grains of sand. You can't stand on it. You just sink into it down to your hips immediately. People don't, they get told Orchard Beach and they don't expect it that's what it's going to do, but that's what it does. The plaque tells you the whole history of glaciers. This is a glacier path. Glaciers come down through from the Bay of Fundy and churn up the sand. Icebergs also come through. That's something that, I don't know, people forget how far north we are. And they'll come up here for a summer vacation, and the next thing they know, it's on the news. Iceberg crashes on the beach, takes the pier out, land smashes through this hotel. And they're like, it's August, why is there an iceberg here? Oh, I don't know, maybe because you're halfway to the damn North Pole. What the hell are you? Oh, tourists are so funny when they're like, there's an iceberg out there. Yeah, of course there's an iceberg out there. It's Maine. What'd you expect? The funniest ones are the people who love it in the summer and they think, oh, Maine is great. They were only here for 1 week in August. And they're like, Maine is great. I'm going to sell everything and move here. And they do. They sell everything. They move here. And then winter comes in September. They get their first blizzard in October. 20 or 30 feet of snow later.
Gather everyone and we'll meet at the port. Then we sail to Skeleton.
They meet their first plow truck. And I'm always amazed at people who have never seen a plow truck. But earlier this year, they got snow in Kentucky. They got 2 inches. They shut down all the roads and closed all the schools. We get 2 inches in August here. It's nothing. We do have snow all year round here.
No creatures.
Another thing
It
people
is.
forget. But the national news was reporting on the fact that they got snow in Kentucky. They got 2 inches. Panic, panic, panic. Oh my God, we're all gonna die. And they're out there plowing the roads with pickup trucks. And a thing that ain't big enough to push snow on the front of them. And I'm like, Oh my god, it's no wonder the tourists get here and they don't know what a snowplow is. They've never seen one. Snowplows around here are gigantic land movers. You can take a big construction dump truck and put 3 or 4 of them in the back. Big giant land mover dump trucks with wing plows off on the side and a V-plow on the front. Each wing plow is bigger than my car, and I've got a very big car. Your little teeny dinky pickup truck is just going to be flattened under the tires of those things. When people see that that is what plows the snow around here, and they haven't yet seen the snow, then they start to realize, oh, I probably shouldn't have moved here to Maine until I saw what your snow looks like in the winter. The ocean freezes over up here in the winter. How much salt there is in the ocean, how cold it has to be to freeze the ocean. Lakes freeze over and people just use them for roads and drive across them. You're very, very, very far north when you're up here. We look down at Canada.
No creature.
We can wave south and say, hey, look, there's Canada down there. Go straight across from where we are. You go straight across. You're going to come out at the Yukon on the other side, just below Juneau, Alaska. Only thing higher up than we are. If you look on a map, the way they stretch the map out, it makes it look like Maine is straight across from Oregon. It's not. They do that so that they squash the perspective down so that they can fit the entire of the United States on one square. If you look on a globe, however, where you see the actual shape, the lower part, the upper part, the lower part of Canada, the upper part of America goes straight across, and then it starts to go up, and it goes up and up and up and up, and then there's a loop on top of that, and that is Maine. Yeah. A lot of people will end up over in Oregon and Washington, and they're like, well, it ain't that cold here in the winter, and you're straight across from that. We aren't straight across from that. It's a warped perspective of a paper map.
Which does not mean it will be
They
easy
flatten
to
the shape of the United States to make it all fit on a square piece of paper. It's not accurate. There is our horse. I know we need to go by this building, but I think, don't we need to go by this building the other direction? Are we going the wrong way? I think we're going the wrong way.
Splendid.
Splendid. Okay. Everyone thinks it's splendid that we're going the wrong way. Let's climb up on the roof of this building. There we go. Now we can see. That's Novigrad over there, right?
Interesting part of the world. Perhaps you'll get a contract with some rare snow beast. A Barbagazi or a Vendigo or an Amarok.
Why Barbagazi not in an game? I've looked at his Barbagazi with him everywhere. do you really think, after what you read in the novels, that Avallac'h has got to travel anywhere without his women or his Barbagazi? Yet, or his horse, which we have lost. We're trying to find our way back to the horse. But in the game. He doesn't have his women, he doesn't have his Babagazi, he doesn't have his horse. All things that, the way he was, I think he would have had a nervous breakdown if they were out of his sight for just a few minutes. Okay, we're back on our road.
Perhaps this was not a good idea after all.
I don't know, I think vandalism is never a good idea. Break and enter is never a good idea. Murdering bodyguards, also not a good idea. I agree. A lot of good ideas happen. You're the merchant that we came over here to talk to. We seem to have gotten into a... We're on our way back somewhere, but hey, look, there's a flower. Let's change direction every few minutes.
Fled through many worlds, many times. Became very close to catching me once. It was then that Avallac'h appeared, out of nowhere.
Appeared out of nowhere, okay. I also don't think he's ever just gonna not be wherever she is. The way he was in the novels, like, don't think Ciri's ever gonna get rid of him.
Tyrell recognized the strength of my argument. I have no doubt you will do the same.
We could look at the map, but, you know. Now we're stuck in a tree. What? How are you stuck in a tree? He's stuck on a tree. What's this? I saw loot over here. There's nothing there, but it says we can loot it. Is there supposed to be a treasure chest there and it's invisible? Or a skeleton? Oh no, it's a dead drowner. Okay. You guys apparently killed a drowner and its body sunk under the sand. Frogs! Look at those little frogs. Hardly ever see frogs in the game. Well, little nice little frogs. No, we're done looking at frogs. I think we can't spawn the frogs in as travel companions, can we? Wrong button.
Trust no one, and above all, beware the witches of Crookback Bog.
Toad? Yeah, Toad. Not frog? Yes. Yeah, it does the same thing as the pigeons. I thought it did. So, now there's just one frog floating here in the air.
She needs time. We must let her resolve her grief on her own.
Okay. He wouldn't have said that. Oh, he so much would not have said that. Avallac'h was all about finding reasons to comfort Ciri, any possible reason he could find. They changed so many things about him in the game that it's questionable. Why did they make these changes? Because there was no logical reason for a lot of the changes they made. Okay, now we're going in circles. Let's look at the map. Okay. Our horse is over there. There we go.
I warned you it could happen.
And we're close to Hike. This game doesn't have bugs, see? There's a common bug this game doesn't have. Floating grass, see? Floating grass. It would be less funny if it was like one or two people who was saying that, you know, look at Witcher 3, they made this great game. Why did they make Cyberpunk full of so many bugs? Because Witcher 3 doesn't have bugs. I mean, if it was just one or two people saying that, it'd be like, okay, they didn't play Witcher 3, they only know of Witcher 3. They don't know it, but it's thousands of people saying it. Tens of thousands of people saying it. And it's like, they act like they've played Witcher 3. You could tell the way they're saying it, the things they're saying.
No creatures.
These are the buggiest games in history. And the whole reason I started making mods for this game was to fix the bugs that were annoying me. And a lot of people that started modding this game, that was why they started modding the game as well, because that bug annoys me. I'm going to make a mod to fix it. And there's one mod that you can get. The Bezerweiser, is that how you say it? I'm probably saying it wrong. It's a German word, and I'm not sure how you pronounce it. So I'm likely saying it wrong. That mod fixes more than 700 bugs in this game. It's a bug fix mod, so that's what it does. There's another one, the Nitpickers mod, fixes over 400 mods in this. There are 400 bugs in this game.
Gather everyone, and we'll meet at the port.
I
Then we
see our
sail to
horse.
Skellige.
If you put both those mods on, and I have both those mods on, you fix over 1,100 bugs in this game that the game developers didn't fix in any of the 132 patches made to fix bugs. That's a lot of bugs. And that's still not everything. Both of those mods, the mod makers have an open request. If you find a bug, tell us. We want to fix it. Their goal is to fix every bug in this game. That is what they're doing. They're working together now, so there's a merged edition of that mod that is one really big mod that is, what is it? Bezerweiser with Nitpickers, I think is what it's called. Something like that. Is there a house over there for us to leave? Wait a minute. Let's go see if we can loot this house.
Never mind.
Yeah, Daft would probably describe him pretty well. He's got some serious mental issues. You have beehives. We are going to loot beehives. One of our girls is hovering in that tree. That's just she did. It's like she's standing on something, like this box or something there, and she's just...
See you there.
Wait, can we climb up your ladder here? We can't climb up this ladder. Can we jump up the ladder? I think that roof's low enough so we can jump up on it anyways. Yeah, it is. Well, now we're on your roof for no reason other than we saw a ladder and couldn't climb up it. Extinguish? Ignite. This game that doesn't have bugs. I wish we could climb the trees. I would love climbing the trees in this game. Climbing trees is not a thing. It won't let us do that. We've tried many times to climb trees in this game. Oh, look at the fancy bean iron. I love bean iron. This game doesn't have bugs.
Where are my clothes?
You guys have some issues with your house. We're gonna loot it. CD Projekt Red has never made a game with bugs before. I see people get so mad when they find these types of bugs too when they're playing the game and they're like, I spent all this money, you'd think they'd fix all these bugs. Like, yeah, you're kind of right, but the bugs are, they're funny. I mean, look at this. Can you look at this and say that this is not hysterical?
I wish we'd spent more time together then.
If you don't like paying full price for buggy games, this game is frequently on sale, so you can get it very cheap. It's $87 regular price. Considerably expensive for a game, but it's a pretty big game. So we're coming back from the other side of the road. These lights are on? Wait. These lights... There we go. Well, let me ignite it from the front. Okay. And from the back. There. If we turn these off and on, are they brighter as well? Oh, they turn blue. That's right. We turned the torches blue.
I'm certain they would. But Avallac'h claims they've neither the knowledge nor talent. He spent 4 centuries learning to do it. It can still only find and pass through the pre-existing portals.
Yes. Forgot about that one. He who has invented portals. Again, if there was a plot reason why they made these changes, it would be understandable. But it's just random stuff that is said throughout the game that doesn't affect the plot or the story, like that one. That never comes into the story at all. So there's no reason to say, yeah, here's some information about Avallac'h that completely contradicts the novels in every way, shape, and form, and has no bearing on the story at all, so why did we change it? I mean, these are just the changes with Avallac'h. I could bitch about the changes with other characters. You talk to Yennefer fans. Oh, you ask Yennefer fans about stuff they changed about Yennefer. People who are insanely in love with Yennefer, and there's a lot of people who are insanely in love with Yennefer in the novels, People who love novel Yennefer absolutely hate game Yennefer because she is so changed so much from the way she was in the novels. And it's one of those things where I can understand it because, I love Avallac'h as much as I love Yennefer, and I don't like the changes they made to Avallac'h. So I completely understand why they are so upset about the changes that were made to Yennefer. And I thought I heard a wraith. And this is an area where there is a wraith, but I don't see it. No, I think it's the wind I'm hearing, because I just heard it again. I think it's the wind. Anyways, if you watch when they get to Pellar, Avallac'h's lab, and Yennefer starts talking, and Ciri's talking, and they're going through papers, and it says, pick up these papers! Okay, you can't pick up. You do want to pick those up. The problem is, when the game tells you to pick them up, they're not there yet.
I'm upset.
And that's the letter that tells you, oh look, there's an actual reason why Avallac'h is helping Ciri. It's called Avallac'h's Corinthea's father and Ciri's Corinthea's mother, and here's all this paperwork that you should be able to pick up then according to the game, but it doesn't let you pick it up until after you've talked to this Lyra. So go in and talk to this Lyra, then go back there. Then the letter will be there and you can pick it up. Not before, when the game actually tells you to pick it up.
Ciri,
No, not Ciri. Candle.
can you hear me?
You were supposed to be lighting that candle. But during that scene, they start talking about the experiments with elder blood that the human mages did. And the way it's worded and the way the tone in the voice actors' voices are and everything,
Right. We'll talk later.
they indicate that Yennefer was experimenting on people for elder blood. And that's not entirely the case in the novels. She was questionable about why she had Ciri, because Yennefer desperately wants a baby. She wants to be a mother. That's a really big thing with her. And she's infertile, she's sterile, she cannot have a baby. She's very upset about that. And so initially she did have Ciri because she hoped that, well, Ciri's elder blood is supposed to make you fertile, and will make Ciri fertile.
I ask as a curse.
They both have elder blood,
A concept you clearly
but
forgot when you left
because they were born that way. Drinking elder blood, which is what people were doing, isn't going to make you fertile. Yennefer quickly realizes, yeah, that ain't gonna work. Okay, well now I've got this kid, what do I do with her? So when you do first see Yennefer with Ciri, Yennefer's not nice. She does beat Ciri up. She's really mean to Ciri at the start. However, that quickly changes because she does want a baby so much. All of a sudden she realizes, wait, this little girl here doesn't have a family. I can adopt her. Now she's my daughter. So did you see Yennefer change a lot? And most of the novels, about 90% of the novels, is the relationship between Ciri and Yennefer, which the game, that's not even in the game at all. The game completely ignores it. And people who are fans of Mummy Yennefer and the mother-daughter relationship with Yennefer and Ciri hated the game because the game acts like that, they just ignore it. It acts like it wasn't even there. It's always Mummy Yennefer, Mummy Yennefer, Mummy Yennefer. It's all Ciri talks about is Mummy Yennefer. And then you get in the game, also you see a daddy-daughter relationship with Ciri and Geralt. That wasn't in the novels. There was no daddy-daughter relationship with Ciri and Geralt. Geralt hated her. Geralt treated her worse than almost anybody else. The people who treated her the worst. Leo, number 1. Vilgefortz, number 2. Geralt, number 3.
I have seen worlds
Then Vesemir,
bound
number
to
4.
us.
They treated her
I
like
know
shit.
what awaits
They hated Ciri. As I said, I used to like Geralt and Vesemir in the game. I mean, they were 2 of my favorite characters, and then I read the novels, and I was like, oh my god, I hate Vesemir so damn much after I read the novels. And I'm borderline almost hating Geralt. And I liked both of them. They were 2 of my favorite characters. But it was how shitty they treated Ciri for both of them. The way Geralt and Vesemir treated Ciri in the novels, it just totally disgusted me. And the same scene that made me not like Geralt anymore is the reason I did like Avallac'h, because Avallac'h's the only one that had the balls to just call Geralt out. Geralt was treating Ciri like shit. Avallac'h was sick of it. He did not like the way Geralt was treating Ciri at all, and he told him off. Nobody else dared to. Everybody was like, oh, Witcher, we gotta grovel at his feet. We can't say anything against him. And I was like, no, you're a piece of shit. Stop treating Ciri like this. Geralt is horrible in the novels. He is just awful on so many levels of, oh my god. How does anybody like Geralt after reading the novels? Or he's not even like the same character you see in the game at all. The only part of Geralt from the novels that makes it into the game is his name. That's it. He doesn't look like him. He doesn't act like him. There is nothing about Geralt in the novels that made it to the game. Geralt in the game is just a completely different character. There was a question somebody asked, and it's on my profile. So the question's on my profile, and I wrote a longer answer for it. But I remember when they asked me. It was right after the Netflix series came out, and they were like, they said, how'd they word it? I can't remember the exact words. But they said, I'm 5'10", and Henry Cavill is 6'1", and playing Geralt, and I was like, oh my god, Geralt is so huge. He's very intimidating, and I was like, you should read the novels. Geralt in the novels is only 5'10", considerably short. Geralt in the novels was also described as corpse-like, skeletal, so skinny that you couldn't tell he had any muscles on him at all. He looked like bones with skin stretched over it. He also had dark, swarthy skin. He was not an albino. He is in the game. His hair turned white from being poisoned with an alchemy potion during the trial of grasses. His hair suffered from total lack of pigment. He had a ponytail in the back. It was his only hair. His head was shaved. He wore a big headband thing that he tied around his head like Rambo.
Took you a while. Did you run into trouble?
You see in the game a thing that is in the novels, and when you see it in the game, it's like, why is it what? Where you're walking around just at random, and some bandit comes running up to you, and they fight you, and they attack Geralt. Look at Geralt in the game. He's like the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, yes.
He's huge, and he's all muscle. And these bandits, these little teeny tiny bandits, come running up to him and attack him. And people playing the game, you see it all the time, and they're like, why are these idiots attacking this big guy? I mean, yeah, why are these idiots attacking this big guy? Well, in the game, that is a good question. Not in the novels. If Geralt in the game looked like Geralt in the novels, you'd understand. Geralt in the novels looked like he was about to drop dead, and he was skinny, and he was short, he was tiny little thing, he had no muscles to him. He was incredibly strong when and if he took his drugs. That's another thing. Bandits could come over and beat the hell out of him and leave him for dead. Until, oh, let's pop a drug in here, and all of a sudden now he's crazy hyped up on steroids and he can kill anybody. He was a drug addict, and it was his drugs that made him very, very strong. Just because he couldn't feel anything. He wasn't actually strong. He was not this muscle guy. He wasn't big. And so if you go by way he was in the novels, yeah, you could see why bandits would think they could beat him up. But then they made this character in the game look nothing like Geralt looked in the novels. So then it becomes, why did the bandits think they can beat this guy up? Look at him.
I
They
think you will not
changed
attack one
things so
unarmed.
much. Yeah, why are you carrying a sword in that scene also where all of a sudden Avallac'h's holding a sword and he hadn't had a sword the entire game and then all of a sudden he's got a sword? Oh, your weapon! No, I'm gonna throw it away. Here. Go. There. Gone. Now you're not gonna attack me. You haven't had a weapon the entire game. Why have you all of a sudden go on? Again, same topic. What the hell? Avallac'h had a phobia. He had anemia. Avallac'h suffered from anemia. Oh, what is a word for it? What's that word? Where if you get cut, you could bleed to death so damn fast just from a scrape that wouldn't hurt a normal person. He had that, and he was terrified of weapons. He was terrified of swords and knives. He wouldn't let a bladed weapon near him. It's this massive phobia of bladed weapons because he was scared if he got cut, he was going to die. Ironically, that same scene we're also told, hey, guess what? He's a wraith. He's already dead. He seems to have didn't notice he killed himself. You know, he committed suicide. He didn't seem to know that. Even in the novels, there's inconsistencies that don't match up. The problem with Avallac'h is you get a scene with Avallac'h really early on, and then you get a scene with Avallac'h really late on, and there's 14 years between the author writing this scene and the author writing that scene, and it's clear that he forgot what he wrote in the first scene and in the second scene, and it's like, couldn't you just go back and check and, you know, you told us all this information about this guy back here. Couldn't you fact check and make sure you got it right before you changed his character? But he did it about all of them. That wasn't an Avallac'h exclusive thing. He did it with every character. It makes the Witcher novels somewhat frustrating to read if you're somebody who is a lore hound and wants to know everything there is to know about characters, and you're like, wait a minute, you said this over here. Why are you saying this over here? It contradicts. They both can't be true. Yennefer, I think, is the worst character for changing throughout the novels because the author was too lazy to make sure he kept the character the same. We're supposed to be on our way to visit Pellar. Seem to be taking a long way about it. We get stuck picking flowers. I haven't seen Pellar in 3 years, but we don't have him in the second Avallac'h playthrough yet. We've got the rare third ending of Family Matters active in the second Avallac'h playthrough, and I don't want to do anything to mess it up, so we have not yet brought the Pellar in the game. Because bringing the Pellar in the game will mess it up. at this point. We have to bring the Pellar into the game to finish that quest, but if we bring him into the
Why
game
to bring
too
girls
early,
here?
it'll mess it up.
Show
and
him the truth of what happened.
we don't want to do anything to mess up that ending, because that ending is so damn hard to get. It's one of the few endings I haven't yet gotten for a quest end. There's most every quest in the game I have gotten every ending to now. There's only a few where I'm missing an ending, and that's one of them. I'm missing the alternate ending for what's it called? The Ugly Baby quest has... There's a second quest connected to Ugly Baby that only triggers if you have the third ending for Family Matters active. And you can, if you don't do it completely exactly just right, you'll lose one or the other or both of those endings, and it won't work. So. Thus, we don't have the Pellar in the second Avallac'h playthrough yet. So we haven't seen the Pellar in a long time. Isn't there a third set of beehives here? There's one, there's two. There's so many houses to loot over there. Okay, we need to resist the temptation to loot. It's very difficult for me. I have no idea how hard it is for me to walk by loot and look. The third set of beehives is over by this windmill, right? Are Illuminati sheep? Do we still have Illuminati sheep? I'm trying to look at my sheep. Yes, we still have Illuminati sheep. I like. The sheep are... Oh, we're here! I always forget about this until we find it. Let's go pick these flowers and then look at this Easter egg. Early in the game, very early in the game, one of the first things you're going to encounter when you leave White Orchard in Velen, when you go talk to Kira, and she tells you about Avallac'h, the elf that was helping Ciri, and you try to go find the elf that was helping Ciri, and he's not there.
But there are many different worlds and even more forms of life.
He's not there, and you get this message that he left behind, because he has just left. You are literally going right behind him. He's writing on the walls, and he leaves a message to tell you he's writing on the walls. He's telling Ciri, and you got there before Ciri did. He tells you to follow his writings. And people assume, okay, we follow the writings, we get to the cave. Well, you do. You follow the writings, you get through the cave. However, that's not what he meant. If you follow all these markings, there's all throughout the game. You'll find them everywhere. They're in White Orchard. They're everywhere he camped for the night. He marks a place. So anytime you find a campsite that has one of these markings, if it has the horse, this is Kelpie. If it has the horse or the swallow or Gwynblade, which is the little dog for Geralt, or the Kraken, which is the symbol Avallac'h uses for himself in the game. He used Dragonfly in the novels. That was the thing in the novels. He did use these markings on rocks, but they were different in the novels than they are in the game. But you can follow, you can find where he went throughout the entire game. Every time you find a campsite or a house that has these markings in it, that's a place that Avallac'h stopped and stayed for the night. And he left a trail so Ciri could find him. which is a real thing in gypsy culture. Also, Avallac'h is a gypsy. That's something that the game kind of hints to, but they kind of left it out, like they were terrified to be, they had to be politically correct, and they didn't dare to actually say, yeah, he's a gypsy. He was in the novels a gypsy king. That's another thing. So traveling was a thing with him as well. But this is a real thing that gypsies do. As they travel, we are gypsies. That's what our culture is, and this is what we do. When we travel, you leave markings on rocks and signposts to tell others, this is where we were. If we get separated, you can find us. You can make your way back to the group. And that's what he was doing, and that's what these are. The thing is, he actually tells you that. There is a scene where he actually tells you that he's doing this. And people, they hear it, but they don't pay attention to it, so they never, when they see these markings, most people don't find them. They're not easy to find. They're hidden throughout the game. But most people, when they see them, they're like, huh, what's this? And I've seen people who make these huge videos, YouTube videos, analyze it decent. They're like, so what are these things? I get, the game already told you what these things were. Avallac'h himself told you, I'm leaving these markings. You can find where I'm going. Follow me. And these markings make a path across the Witcher world. They go all the way to the tower. If you start following the path that is marked out by these markings, they go straight to the tower. Goes from the cave in Velen to the tower in Skellige, which is where they end up at the end of the game, where Ciri and Avallac'h end up at that tower, the very last thing in the game. You could have followed those markings across the game and gotten to that tower without doing any quest in the game.
All, beware the witches of Crookback Bog.
And this is the other set here. This is what I was talking about. I said there was another set closer to the not lighthouse. I keep calling those lighthouses. Windmill. Let's say beehives closer to the windmill. And there's sometimes a merchant over here, but you know, this game that doesn't have bugs. This is a merchant, one of the merchants that glitches out a lot, so he's not always here. I think this thing that people are all over Twitter the past, what, 2 weeks now?
What's that got to do with anything?
3 weeks? How long ago did Cyberpunk come out? Has it been 3 weeks now? This thing where people all over Twitter, mostly Twitter, but other places, also Reddit and Facebook and Tumblr, but mostly Twitter. Twitter's where you're seeing the bulk of it. And they're doing this whole thing where they're shocked and horrified that Cyberpunk has bugs, and you know, Witcher 3 never had bugs. How could they possibly have made a game with bugs? Witcher 3 was the greatest game ever, and it was such a wonderful game, and it had no bugs. And I think because Witcher 3 is so old now, and this is a really old game now. I'm thinking these people played it so long ago, and they had so much fun while they played it, that they just forgot how damn buggy it was. Which is kind of a testament to how good the game is, that you could play it and then years later look back and remember it as a really good game that you had a lot of fun playing, and forget it has an insane amount of bugs. Which I think we're going to see the same thing happen with Cyberpunk. I mean, a lot of people are returning it, yes. A lot of people are more mad that they can't get a refund. That's what's got people really pissed off, because CD Projekt Red said, you know what, you don't like it, return it, get a refund. And then the game companies, the console companies, PlayStation and Xbox said, wait a minute, we ain't issuing refunds. We didn't say we were issuing refunds. Why are you telling people that we're issuing refunds? And that's where the lawsuit ended up, is because a lot of people are wanting refunds. And Cyberpunk comes with a terms of service thing if you bought it through...
Avallac'h is right. If I do nothing, humans,
Is it
elves,
PlayStation
all
or
will face destruction.
Xbox? I can't remember which one is which. I think it's the PlayStation one. One of them, anyways. The terms of service that came with it, what it said was, you could return the game for a refund if you have not streamed it. Well, everybody was so hyped up for Cyberpunk. Everybody wanted to be the first person to stream it. So nobody opened it up to try it out and see, is it working? Is it okay? Before they just jumped in to stream it. So, 13 million people, that's the official number, 13 million people jumped in and started streaming it on day one. I was like, really? Was it 13 million? Wow. Obviously not on Twitch. Twitch doesn't have that many people. Most people who were streaming it on YouTube. But these people, there are, is it 39,000? Is that what it said? It was 39,000 people who had requested a refund and were denied a refund, and the reason was they had live streamed the game and they're like, but it's broken, we can't play it.
Will wait at a safe distance from the Nargothrond.
And the company's going, no, you streamed it. That's it. I mean, it's done. You can't get a refund. And that's where the lawsuit is now happening, because it's like deceptive marketing is what the charges are. And they're being accused of being scam artists and taking people's money and not giving them the money back. And the terms of service said if you streamed it, you couldn't return it. And nobody read the terms of service. They just jumped in because they had to be the first person to stream it. They had to get those view counts. People kept asking me, are you going to stream it? Are you going to stream it? Are you going to stream it? Because, I mean, everybody knew I wasn't hyped up for it, but everybody knew I was planning to get it. I mean, it's not a game that it's probably never going to make it into one of my top favorite games, just because it's, futuristic sci-fi. I like sci-fi, but I like certain types of sci-fi. I like Star Trek. I love Star Trek. That bookshelf behind me, you can see the Witcher books on the top, but underneath that, there's several thousand Star Trek books. I have all of the Star Trek books ever written, all the way back to the 60s. Well, starting with the Jim Blush.
3, 2,
I have all of them.
1.
And
On time.
all of them. I mean, the original Star Trek, the Next Generation Star Trek, Deep Space Nine. I love Star Trek. I'm a huge Star Trek fan. And you never hear me talk about it because I'm obsessive over Avallac'h and Witcher and stuff. So that's what you see me talking about when I'm streaming. But you get me off on a Star Trek thing, and I'll debate Star Trek episodes and Star Trek characters and who's the best captain and all that stuff. When you get me off on one of those type of rants, I'll be doing that for weeks on it.
This is the place.
I'm a huge Star Trek fan. So that type of sci-fi, that I like. I like the space opera, soap opera, exploration, that type of sci-fi. But then you get into the stuff more like cyberpunk. It's like, okay, I like it, but it's like, it's not one of my favorite things. I don't dislike it, but I'm not going to go crazy collecting it, type of thing. So my opinion of cyberpunk right from the beginning has always been, yeah, I'll probably get it and play it, but I'm not hyped up for it, And so I've always said, and people have been asking me for like 7 years now, are you going to play Cyberpunk? And I'm like, yes, I'm planning to get it. I'm planning to play it. I may not stream it. Probably won't stream it. But then I also always said,
This is Ted Danner.
This game's being made by CD Projekt Red.
World
I'm
destroyed
probably not going to play it until at least 2 years after it's released. And people would always ask, wait, why? Don't you want to play it the first day? Everybody wants to play it the first day. And I'm like, have you ever played a game by this company? Do you really want to? I've played all of their games. I have played every single game this company has made. So I'm very familiar with CD Projekt Red games. They make really good games. I like their games a lot. I mean, obviously. But their company leaves much to be desired. I'm a fan of their games. I'm not so much a fan of their company. Their company's not got a good reputation. I'm looking for my horse. I've lost my horse. Where's the horse on the map? That's why we're just walking around in a circle here. There you are on the map. There's also a plant beside us. Let's see it. Oh yeah, plant beside us. It blended in. I didn't see it. Okay. But I didn't get Witcher 3 when it first came out, and that was something because I was playing The Witcher so much. People expected me to play Witcher 3 immediately, and I didn't. I didn't play it until the DLCs came out. I bought it when the DLCs came out. And then I had it for a while before I started playing it. I didn't start playing it until, is that our horse? That's our horse over there. I can't see through the fog we got here. Yeah, I started playing it March 31st, 2016. But then I wasn't playing it daily, and I was only playing it like an hour a week, and so it wasn't until April when you started seeing me playing it more, because that was when the DLC came out. The DLC came out right after I bought it, so when I bought it, it was what do they call it? It had a sale. It was on sale, and they advertised it as, you buy it now and you'll get the DLCs free, because the DLC is again ready to come out. So I got the Blood and Wine Hearthstone free. because they were doing a thing where, you know what, we're getting ready to release the DLCs. Buy the game now and we'll add the DLCs on after. You'll get it all free. And that's so I ended up with the DLCs free because I bought it during that sale. Trying to think where we want to go. But there was that it surprised people that I waited so long, because a lot of people did play this game as soon as it came out. And it was a game that I was hyped up for. And then I didn't play it immediately. That was a whole year before I played it. So I continued playing Witcher 1 over and over and over and over again, because that's what I was doing. I was playing Witcher 1 over and over again, the same way I'm playing Witcher 3 over and over again now. I was, at the time, playing Witcher 1 a lot. But when it came out, I was like, yeah, Vizima Confidential. And people were like, yeah, well, that was Vizima Confidential. Uh-huh. Vizima Confidential? I don't trust the company. I'm gonna wait a year for them to have some bug fixes before I play Witcher 3. You know? If you've played Witcher 1, you know Vizima Confidential. You know one of the most annoying, frustrating bugs in gaming history if you've ever played Witcher 1. The game is legendary for the bugs of Vizima Confidential. And so when Witcher 3 came out, I was like, you know what? I don't trust this company. I want this game, but I do not trust this company to release a not broken game. So I waited a year before even buying Witcher 3. Because guess what? CD Projekt Red is known for releasing insanely bugged out games. And the worst bugs in gaming history come from this game company, so no way in hell was I going to buy Witcher 3 the day of release. And so when people now were asking, when are you gonna get Cyberpunk? You gonna stream it? Like, yeah, I'm gonna get it. Probably not gonna stream it. It's probably also gonna be 2 years before I play it, because look at the history of this company and the fact that they cannot release a game that is playable from the day of release. You go back and watch my videos. There's a video that I made like 3 years ago while we were playing Witcher 3. I think we were still doing the Geralt playthrough. And I was talking about that. The fact that, yeah, I don't trust CD Projekt Red to release Cyberpunk in a playable condition. This was like 3 years ago that I made that video. Their history of releasing broken games, they're legendary for it. That's what their company is known for. They release broken games. The problem is they focus on the game, what it looks like. They focus on details that they're okay, they're good and all that, but they're details that they should focus on when they get done with the game. It's like, you get the game, it's all working, functioning, ready for release. Now you work on the little details. Case in point, Cyberpunk and the penis slider. They spent a year making that. They bragged about it for a year. Most advanced penis physics. Well, it's obvious that they spent a year working on it. Yeah, they did a good job with it. It's also obvious that they spent a year working on that at the expense of working on actual game mechanics. They're like, oh yeah, we want to have the best penis in gaming history. We gotta compete with Red Dead Redemption horse penises, you know. That is why they did it. It's ridiculous, but go back and watch the original interview when they first announced the penis slider. They got the idea from Red Dead Redemption 2. And all of a sudden, oh, we gotta stop, we're making the game. Nope. we have to add penises to the game because Red Dead Redemption 2 has the most advanced penis physics, and we got to do better. And it's obvious from what they released. Yeah, that they did exactly what they said they were going to do. They stopped production of the game so that they could have the most advanced penis physics in gaming history. And, so what? It's not essential to anything other than a couple of brothels that you can visit. That's it. There's a massage parlor. That's the only time you're going to see penis physics in Cyberpunk, is you go to that massage parlor. That's it. That's the only time you're going to see it. So the game is broken badly because they were like, we need penises in the game, and they didn't need to do that. That is the thing that, okay, it's fine and all, but you did it. You focused on that one thing when the game was not finished yet. That was a cosmetic feature that didn't need to be added to the game. It was something that you could remove from the game, and it's not going to affect gameplay. You should have finished the game first, and then when the game was done and ready to be released, then added the optional stuff, like the penis slider. That's where the problem is. And they've done that with every game. I mean, that is what they do. They had penises in this game. Did you know that? I mean, there's a reason I can fix Avallac'h. He's the character that originally had a penis in this game. So it's not that difficult to put it back on him. They just didn't release it to the public because they were like, yeah, we can't do this. The game, people are gonna get mad. We can't put this in the game. So they didn't. But that was one of the things that held up Witcher 3. Why did they do it to Avallac'h and not Geralt? I don't know. Avallac'h's the character they did it on. If you know how to open up the game, go open up the game and look. It's there in the vanilla game. A couple of the female characters. Look for, if you search through the game files, look for the files that are marked censored files. All of those. Witcher 3 was released with quests unfinished. The last half of the game, when you get to Skellige with Avallac'h and you're supposed to be going off and doing stuff, tracking Eridan and all that stuff, there's several quests that they didn't finish and they just slashed it out of the code. It's still there in the code, but it's not activated because they spent so much time on details that they didn't need to put in the game, which, they're good and all, but the quests in the story are broken, and they're broken to this day, a decade later, because they never bothered to fix it even after the game was released. I'm amazed that people have forgotten. Right? How do people forget this type of stuff? How many videos, how many streams have I made that were devoted just to talking about Cyberpunk and what I was expecting from Cyberpunk? And it was constantly always the same thing where I don't plan to play the game until it's been out for 2 years because I want to wait for CD Projekt Red to get all their bug fixes and all their glitches and all that stuff out, because we know this company. They've never released a finished game yet. Why would we expect them to deal with Cyberpunk? I have several
I never
dozen
doubted you.
videos on that topic in
Why
the
did
past 3 years.
Might have just asked.
What?
And I made another one. Every single time people hyped up Cyberpunk, you'd see some trailer release or something. People would be all hyping it up, and then I would make a response video of, why are people hyping it up? We know what this company does. This company is completely, totally incapable of releasing a finished game. We know what they're going to release. Why are you hyping it? You know they're not going to give us a finished game at CD Projekt Red. When have they ever given us a finished game? People are just blinded by the hype. Including people who played CD Projekt Red games and knew what CD Projekt Red releases for games. I don't know, do we have those already or not? We need to check. Racing Horse Blinders, Ophir Blinders. Racing Horse Blinders. Calvary Sale. Racing Horse Blinders, okay. Calvary Sale, we do already have. Alright, we need to sell both of those. I keep one of each of all the horse gear because I do switch them out and we change up horse gear. I know we get stuck in, we'll have one that we'll use for a long time, but I'm constantly switching out horse gear. I like dressing our horse up.
So long.
And we got a nice sunset here. I love the sunsets. And this is actually, this is a, yeah, no, this sunset. This ain't no way. Sunrise? No, it's a sunset. The sunrises in this game are usually more yellow, and the sunsets are usually more pink. But I like sunset and sunrise in this game. I need to move my legs. And he is fatigued. Do we have a place nearby where we can stop and meditate?
Do you believe humanoids have a monopoly on destroying?
There's a cave not far by. He likes caves. Where is that cave? We're really close to a cave. We don't have our whale in this safe house, so not near a whale. Where'd our horse go? There you go. Yeah, there's a cave nearby. Let's go stop. By the time we get there, he's going to be very tired and thirsty, so...
I ask as a courtesy. A concept you clearly forgot when you left without uttering a word.
Yeah, you got somebody who has just gotten up from a coma. And it occurs to me that a lot of people don't know what a coma is. Because you see it misrepresented in movies, TV, novels, books, and video games. He was in a coma. And then they just left him alone a few hours after he woke up. That is a major dick move, because somebody who has just woken up from a coma, they're probably still 4 or 5 more months before they're going to be able to sit up or talk or even lift a finger. Coma is a really bad thing. And people seem to forget that. They don't know. And understandable, because it's really rare. You don't see it very often. And I didn't know anything about it until my father went into a coma. So if I didn't have personal experience with physical therapy of treating someone at home who was in a coma, I probably wouldn't know a lot of the stuff. It bothers me that things like movies and TV shows and this video game don't do the research. If you're gonna tell us that somebody is in a coma, do the research and find out what a coma is and what exactly has to be done for somebody when they wake up out of it, because they ain't waking up and just all of a sudden moving around. If you're in a coma, even just for a few days, you are going to be months, possibly years, relearning to walk, relearning to talk. It ain't going to be a few hours and you're going to be up moving around. Coma is not like being unconscious. A coma is you have died. You are dead. And the only thing still functioning is your brain. The only reason you're not dead is because your brain hasn't stopped. That is what a coma is. And people forget that. Your organs have died. Your heart has stopped. Everything is no longer functioning. You are dead. The only reason you're still alive is you still have brainwave functions. That means chances are really high when you wake up from a coma, you may never walk again. You may never talk again. You may be a vegetable for the rest of your life. Movies and TV shows and games, this game especially, one of them, they treat a coma like, oh yeah, no, they just passed out for a few hours and now they're just going to get up and walk around. And that is not what a coma is. So would you see him mad because Ciri and Geralt left him alone? It's understandable why he was upset. Or he was in really bad shape and they left. They left him alone a few hours after he woke up out of the coma. If somebody did that to me, I would probably want to kill him.
You shall see the truth.
So yeah, I could see why he was so mad when they did that. See? Cave. We know where all the caves are because we like to stop and meditate at caves. And there's a quest at this cave. And you know what? This is a side quest, and this is the Regis playthrough. And the Regis playthrough, the save file comes from the Regis playthrough. And the Regis playthrough, I did not do a completionist run. We just ran through the main story. So we didn't do the DLCs. That's why there's no DLC stuff done. We didn't do any side quests. I was surprised we also didn't do the rune right, because I forgot I didn't do the rune right until the other day. Was it 2 days ago now when we got to the rune right? And I was like, oh, okay, you're not here. we didn't unlock you. Yeah, I love the caves. Okay. There's no bed in this cave though, right? It's just a little campfire. No, okay, this cave doesn't have a bed. It just has a campfire, so we're just gonna meditate here by the campfire. That's wrong button. There we go. 4 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's gonna put us at midnight, which isn't a problem because I don't have the random encounters mod on right now. We gotta get that back on. I like that mod. We haven't been using it the last, what, about a month now? Okay, now you need a drink. That's one of the things where you see people play this game and they start talking about Ciri. You know, leaving him alone was Ciri's idea. Geralt didn't want to leave. You watched a conversation where they actually leave. Geralt actually asks about Avallac'h. He asks Ciri, are you sure you want to leave him here? And Ciri says, yeah. it was Ciri's idea to leave. Geralt tried to stop her from leaving. Geralt was worried about leaving Avallac'h alone. And people do this thing where they go, Ciri's so sweet, so wholesome, so kind, so loving, so big-hearted, and I'm like, she's so sweet, so innocent, so kind, so loving that she just left somebody who she claimed a few minutes earlier. This is her best friend. She just left him alone while he was in a coma. Does that sound sweet, kind, innocent, loving, big-hearted to you? That's a piece of shit. That's what that is. You don't do something like that to somebody, even if they're not your friend. And this was supposedly her best friend she did that to.
Humans, elves, all will face destruction.
That is a huge dick move. That's why I said, these people who say how sweet and innocent, kind and loving and big-hearted Ciri is in the game, and I'm like, did you listen to anything she said? Did you pay attention to anything she did in this game? Because she's a piece of shit in this game. She's not even close to being as big a piece of shit in the game as she was in the novels. You get a strange sense of what a good, kind, loving, caring, big-hearted person is if you classify Ciri and all the shitty dick moves she pulls in this game. I mean, again, this is supposedly her best friend. She broke into his house, killed his bodyguard, threatened to kill his wife, and then trashed the place. Major dick move. And 4 felonies. I wonder about the morals these people have. What type of dipshits they are in real life. That they think Ciri is a good person. Based on the stuff she did in this game. And then they wonder, why did you ban me? Why'd you ban me? I'm like, I grew up with gangsters and criminals and thugs and crime lords, and you know what? Morals you have indicate you are somebody who probably should be in prison, and I don't want you in my channel. Your morals are that low that you can find somebody who commits felonies on a daily basis good, sweet, wholesome, kind, loving. Yes, I'm going to ban you for that, because the last thing I want is more criminals near me. I got away from the Outwaters. I don't want anything to do with anyone who is like them. I don't like thugs. I don't like gangsters. I don't like criminals. I don't like people who support criminals. You start fanboying somebody who is a felon, I'm gonna ban you. Simple as that. Okay, back on the path. Now, we're almost to Earthstan. Are we still going the right way? We are, right? Water's on that side of us. Trying to remember where is the Pellar in connection to where we are right now? Earthstan's right ahead of us. And we're coming up on the ocean. Okay, there's Earthstan. We're now in Earthstan. Castron's over there. There's a military camp right ahead of us. There's so much loot all over the place. Wait a minute, let's grab that. I saw you say loot. It said loot. It went up and said loot. And I went back down. Pellar's in Blackborough. He's right, well, he's not in it. He's like, he's right on the outskirts of it. There's a possibility Kira's got some of them. Kira's not Twitch friendly right now. When I look to see,
You shall see the truth.
where is Kira right now? And then I realized, oh, yeah, okay. The next thing to do with Kira is the sex quest with Kira, which... it's possible to skip past it and not do the sex quest. However, if you saw the first Avallac'h playthrough, you know the issues. For some reason, that quest glitches Avallac'h out. Really, really, really bad. I'm not sure why, and I've not yet done anything to fix it. Since we've not come back and done that quest in any other playthrough. Because we still haven't done that quest in the second Avallac'h playthrough. That's telling us we haven't read that yet. Alright. We aren't reading the books. We're just clicking through so that they don't stay lit up in our inventory. Oh, we needed a fireplace. While you're warming yourself by your fireplace, we'll come do the same thing. I forgot we were looking for a fireplace a while back because we need to do this. Is it down there? This one? Okay. Oh, then I can make a lot of these. Okay. Can we do any more of these now? I think... didn't we need... red's what we needed. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking we needed red. Okay, so we need 4 more red. And... just 4 more red. Okay. I was trying to remember, can we just walk up and talk to Kira and see what she's got in her inventory? Yeah, sand dune behind your window. You guys have a lot of loot in this house. You know, I'm surprised with a military camp right behind these houses, the military camp's right there beside it, that they would have this much loot here. Doesn't that seem illogical to you? Also, do you have any idea how uncomfortable that bed would be to sleep on? With the slats, spaces between the slats? I have slept on a bed like that before. I know how uncomfortable that is. that is so, it's jarring on my brain, because it's one of those things where I have done it before, so my brain has a memory of what that feels like, and so when I see that, it's like
Where are my clothes?
triggering my brain to remember what that feels like, and that hurts. And also men and women sleeping in separate beds again, and husband and wives don't sleep together in this game, which I don't know. Why does that bug me so much? I don't know. It does. It bugs me. It makes me want to know, what the hell is wrong with you two? What are you fighting about? That you're sleeping in separate beds? Why do you hate each other so much? Do you sleep in separate beds? What? But then you read the novels, and Avallac'h and all his wives, they all sleep in bed together. And we're told, oh look, he's evil. Look, that evil person, he lets his women sleep in bed with him. Oh my God, his wife is in bed with him. How evil can he be? And I'm like, what? I don't understand the culture. Obviously there's a culture thing here. And like I said, I looked it up, and there is. That is a thing in Polish culture. Men and women do not sleep in the same beds. They don't sleep in the same rooms. I don't get it. Why? Why is that a thing? What is the logic behind it? I can think of so much post-traumatic stress disorder that it would cause for a couple to not sleep in the same bed. People need human contact. That's a thing. I look at it as, you got something seriously psychologically wrong with you on some severe sociopathic levels if you don't like human contact so much that you don't let your husband or wife sleep in bed with you. And now I find out there's an entire country where that's a thing. And I'm like, what is wrong with everybody in Poland? I never knew that. I couldn't even have imagined that there was a culture that had something like that before I saw it in the game. And when I initially saw it in the game, I figured, well, some type of, game mechanic where they couldn't have them sleeping in the same bed for whatever reason, game engine issues or something. So I didn't think of it until I read the novels, and this was a big thing. It was pointed out in the novels many, many, many times with many characters. You could tell the villains from the heroes by the fact that the villains had their women sleeping in their bed with them at night. And they were their wives. They were married to them. Good people slept in separate beds, and evil people didn't. That's a thing, how you determine. That was the whole point of how you determine if someone's good or evil in the Witcher novels. It just took me so much culture shock by surprise when I encountered that. And then when I came back to play the game again after reading the novels, and now I'm seeing these. I said, but originally I didn't pay attention to it because I just figured there was some type of a game coding issue where for some reason they couldn't code them so that they would lay down in the same bed together for some reason, clip them and glitching or something. So I just figured it was a gameplay issue, a game development issue. I didn't think it was an actual cultural thing until I read the novels, and then I looked it up. And it's driven so much in the novels that it's a major plot point at every turn in the novels. See? Every house. It's bizarre. Now that I know it's an actual cultural thing, I don't understand how it became a cultural thing. Though that's I think the thing that it's like I can't wrap my mind around it. How does a society develop that type of a habit to the point that the entire country does it? Of course, Poland is the same country that has a law. Child rape is legal because, according to the lawmakers, men need release. Well, maybe if they were sleeping in bed with their wives, you wouldn't need to have things like child rape be legal. Which I also didn't know was a thing in Poland. Until I was at a convention cosplaying Avallac'h, and this guy walks up to me, and he's a publisher, and he's Polish, and he oh, hey, you're cosplaying a Polish character. Yep. But most people are like, they either know who you're cosplaying, or they don't know who you're cosplaying. It's like, hey, you're that guy from Witcher. Or, who are you? It's not, hey, you're cosplaying a Polish character. I'm doing a lecture on Polish books. You want to come up here and sit up stage with me? I'm like, what? What? What is that? And he comes up with all these books, and he's got tons and tons and tons of books. And he's pointing out, child porn is legal in Poland. Look at these books. I was like, oh my god. What are these books? What the hell is this? He had this whole... This was the first time I'd heard about it. I had no clue what he was talking about. So after the convention, that same night, when I left the convention that night, before I even went back the next day, I'd look it up online, and I'm like, oh my god. He said, Poland is weird. I didn't know. I had no idea Poland has some of the laws it has. I'd never heard of these. I'd never looked up anything about Poland. Never had reason to. The books, most of the books that are published in Poland are banned in the United States, and that's something too. I've seen people, I have not read the American editions of the Witcher novels. I should point that out. I've read the Polish editions of the Witcher novels, and I've read the French editions. So I haven't read the American editions of the Witcher novels. And people have pointed out to me, they're like, I can't find this. You said this happened in the novels, and I can't find it. And then I'll ask them, what edition do you have? And they'll be like, oh, well, I've got the American English edition that was published here and all this. And I'm like, you see, I don't have the American editions. I know the American editions are censored, and I know my brother has an American edition. And the page counts, they deleted a lot. There's between 100 to 400 fewer pages per volume in the American editions than there are from the Polish editions. So they removed massive amounts of the story. Huge, insane amounts of the story are removed from the American editions. So, I don't know when people are like, this isn't, I couldn't find this in the novels, and I'm like, you're in American editions, they're censored.
Discouraged
They're
after
censored a
mere
lot.
8 attempts.
But what
Zero.
exactly was removed, I don't know. I know there's stuff with Avallac'h removed because people have been like, I went through it and I couldn't find this anywhere. And get a Polish edition. Get the Polish edition. And you know, people will hate Avallac'h from reading the American editions, which remove a lot of stuff. They'd really hate him from the Polish editions, wouldn't they? Can we turn this off and relight it? I want to turn your thing out and relight it up brighter, like we've been doing with everything else.
Who do you think you are? Hey, you!
No, I'm trying to put your fire out. We're annoying the guys. Okay. There we go. We put your fire out. This is trying to do. Alright. What a nice night sky we got.
Watch your step.
I'm looting all these guys that, you know, blew up because they attacked me and I had Quinn on. Okay. Now can I light it? There we go. Brighter. That's what I was trying to do. It wouldn't let me turn it on and off. It looks wrong. It doesn't. There's something wrong with it. There's. Oh yeah, casting Ard causes thunderstorms now. I forget I put that. That's the spell we have. Look at the night skies.
But I can't very well tie her up and teleport her away, can I?
Wait, there's more loot. Can't get back on the horse yet. You know, we're done looting for money for the room, right? We don't have to keep looting anymore. I don't know why we're still looting. I think we need to swim. And we're not far from Lorrick? How do you say that? I know I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Okay. They deleted that one. I don't know why. I have it downloaded so we can use it. After you kill King Radovid, if you kill King Radovid, that everybody does. But after you kill King Radovid, I mean, here in the outskirts, you would expect, okay, it could be a month or so before they get news that Radovid died. So it makes sense that they're still saying, long live King Radovid and all that stuff. But in Oxenfurt and Novigrad, where he was, and obviously he's dead, because we killed him there, Philippa kills him there. Obviously they know he's dead. You know? And they're still going around saying, long live King Radovid. it's kind of annoying that they don't acknowledge, at least in the cities where he was, that he's dead. You know, this little place like this, you could assume, okay, the messenger hasn't gotten there yet, and it could be another few weeks before the messenger gets here to deliver the news, yeah, Radovid's dead. So these people out here in the boondocks, they may not know yet. So it's logical. But Novigrad and Oxenfurt, obviously they know he's dead. So somebody made a mod to change the dialogue, and it removes that. It has him say something different. And so after you kill King Radovid, you put that mod on, and they no longer say long live King Radovid. They acknowledge, yeah, he's dead now. And
Pay your last respects to your friend.
I was making,
Then we must hold council.
if you go in my Twitch profile, not YouTube profile, Twitch profile, because you could be watching this video on YouTube or Twitch. If you're watching it on Twitch, go down my Twitch profile. There's a list. Somebody wanted to know. I've had several people want to know. Can you give us a list of the mods you're using? Well, I can list the mods that are on Nexus. I can't list all the mods I'm using because a lot of mods I made and I haven't uploaded them anywhere. So a lot of mods, no way you can use them. But everything that's available on Nexus, I can make a list of those. So I did. And there's... Oh... I think there's like around 1,700 mods on the list. There's a lot of mods on the list. But I had to get the links to all the mods. And that was one of them. I can't remember the name of it. It's something about Radovid is dead. It's like maybe no more King Radovid or something like that. I can't remember the name of the mod. I can't remember what the name of the mod is. Well, anyways, I looked up the mod. And I went to put the link there because it's one of the mods that I'm using. It's not on right now because Radovid isn't dead right now. But I turn it on when Radovid's dead. So I put it on the list because that's a mod I use. And I went to get the link, and this mod has been deleted by the user, and it's got a message about, what did it say? Something about, said I took my, I can't remember what the exact words were, or something like, I took my mods down because of the lack of disrespect in the Witcher community. Yet another mod maker who has been harassed and taken their mods down. And it's like, huh. Well, there's another mod that's gone. That mod's not that old. I mean, that mod was made this year. That mod is it, what, wait, what day is it? Maybe it was made last year. What is it? Time is it?
I believe
It is 5:55 a.m. Okay, it is now 2021. No longer 2020. Alright. Well, it was made in 2020. It's now 2021 as 5 hours ago. Trader's Nets. Okay. There's so much loot here that we're not getting loot, and I don't need to be getting it, but we're getting loot because, you know, loot. We can't stop picking it up. It's like Pokemon, you gotta get them all. Oh, I see loot sparkles under the water over there. Okay, we need to swim across. That's why I left. I was keeping the horse with us, and then I left the horse back there because we gotta swim across, and I'm trying to remember which way do we need to go. I think there's a lot of loot under the water here too, isn't there? I think there is. If we go this way, we're gonna go to Lornrook, right? And Lornrook is not that far. Not that far from Blackborough. Couldn't think of the name of it. What is the name of the place I'm trying to think of? Blackborough. Lornrook is not that far from Blackborough. Wait. Is there a drowner after me? There is a drowner after me. Well, I'm looting all these boxes, so. And I've got Quinn on, so you'll explode if you try to get near me. See? You'll explode if you try to get near me. What Avallac'h used in the novels, it wasn't Quinn. And it didn't have a name for it. It didn't. It just said he had a barrier around himself. And Ciri. Put a barrier around himself and kept Ciri in it, and it annoyed the hell out of Ciri because she kept trying to run away from him. And she couldn't see the barrier. It was like a glass bubble that was invisible, so she couldn't see where the barrier was. She'd run away from him and run into it. And he'd start laughing at her. I thought it was hysterical every time she did that.
Why to bring girls here?
Are you overburdened?
Sure,
You're overburdened, aren't you? The camera's zooming right in on it. I know there's a path. Wait, is this where that place was we were looking for before and we couldn't find it? Ain't it near here? I know there's a path up there somewhere we can get up to. Oh, you guys are different. You guys are Nilfgaardians. Those were Redanians on the other side. Okay.
Come, we must go.
There's paths up here, right? Is that the path I see? I want to go inland more. We're going the wrong way, but we gotta go across and up. Is this path? Kind of a path? Almost? No? We almost... There's the path.
No reason to tarry. Come.
There's a point in the game where when he says that, where you can just make him say that over and over and over and over again. If you're like, there's loot here. Wait a minute. I'm not going to follow Avallac'h anymore. I'm going to loot. And he'll keep saying that. And he'll keep saying it. And he'll just say it over and over and over again. It triggers every 30 seconds. And so you just loot, and he just keeps saying it over and over. It's like a broken record. He won't stop saying it.
For example, one such passage will open soon near where we are, fortuitously enough, between this noble edifice and the butcher's yard.
Wait. You said calm down, Nordlid. Are we... Is there something around and... Oh! Okay, our travel companions are fighting a... That's right, there's a quest wyvern up there, guarded treasure. Can we blow all you guys up? Because... Okay. That's not exactly what I was trying to do, but whatever. That worked too. I was trying to do alternate art. Okay. That's what I was trying to do. Kill everybody all at once. Nilfgaardians drop good loot. See? Nilfgaardians drop good loot. Ciri is a Nilfgaardian. Technically. Why were the Nilfgaardians trying to kill her? Not in the game, in the novels. That's a... It's one of those things where I'm like, wait, what? 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 Why are they trying to kill her? I don't get it. Doesn't make sense. I don't know, I don't understand politics, not in real life or in novels. I suppose if I understood politics better, maybe it would make more sense.
Supposed to.
Oh look, her own people are trying to kill her. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh wait, that's right, we got things. What can we do? I don't know what we have active. Do we have anything active?
Ciri. Ziren,
We can hug Ciri.
can you hear me?
Where are my clothes? Carmen.
I moved to get away from Ciri. We still got her. Oh.
Come, you must go.
All right. We'll talk later.
I don't know if any of the things are active. That's what I was trying to figure out, and I clicked on Ciri instead. Okay, we got... That one's active. Oh, was I doing that?
The very old world, thoroughly
I think
raped
I
to sword.
was. Yes, I was. Okay, I was doing it right. The thing I was trying to figure out is the damage is on a slider thing with the... Where'd all these guys go? There was just a bunch of soldiers there. Okay, it's trying to click on the...
The passage is here, past this wall. Ciri,
and then it clicks on Ciri.
can you hear me?
Where are my clothes? Carmen, don't just stand there. I want a hug.
Okay.
Come, you must go.
All right. We'll talk later.
Okay.
And Medetta. This is too much.
This it doesn't seem to do any damage, so we need to figure that out. And I'm not sure, is it not doing damage because they're guards? Yeah, see, they acknowledge when I do that, and now they are attacking. Now it does damage. Okay. That answered the question there. So they have to be acknowledged as enemies. They have to be acknowledged as enemies before it will attack them. While they're just standing there being guards, it won't do any damage. Okay. Now we know. They got loot here. He's sliding instead of picking it up. If we swim all the way across, we just swam across from island to island. But if we swim all the way across and hadn't come up on land, we would have come up at Avallac'h. Problem with Avallac'h is the water where you swim to get to it, almost nothing in it. No loot, no... It's like empty water. There isn't even any ground.
Nearby. Listen.
No plants, nothing. So, there's no advantage to swimming to Avallac'h from where we are. We should be able to see Avallac'h from here, though, can't we? Where is Avallac'h? If we can figure out what direction Avallac'h's in, we can figure out which way we need to go to get to the Pellar, because I know where the Pellar is in conjunction with where
Find the sorceresses of the
Avallac'h
lodge, and we'll
is.
meet at the port. Then we sail to Skellige.
And Avallac'h's right over there, right? It's like right there, all the way across on the other side. Can't see it good because the storm has messed up visibility, but so I think we need to just stay along the edge of the water, right? And then when we get to Avallac'h, we can start moving inland. Did you guys kill the wyvern? It doesn't seem to be here attacking us anymore.
Avallac'h's different.
Avallac'h's very different. I agree with that. He's an exceptionally different person. That's where... Ah, there it is. Nope, these are dead bodies. Okay. But that was Andrzej Sapkowski's talent. Making characters. He was really good at character creation. And all these characters, there are so many characters in the novels. There's thousands of characters in the novels. Is that Avallac'h? Did I just see it with the lightning flash? I think it's right over there. I'm not sure. I saw something with lightning flash. I don't know if that was it or not. I wasn't paying attention. There should be a dead wyvern around here somewhere because the panthers were fighting it. And now it's not attacking us, so it must be dead. Anyways, he was really good at making characters, and there's thousands of characters in the game, in the novels. Thousands in the game as well. But there's thousands of characters in the novels that most of them are only on one page. And yet there's enough information in just a few sentences that you know so much information about these characters.
Avallac'h told me of being
It's bizarre the skill he had at that, because that's not easy to do. And you see so many novels where the characters are like dull and cookie cutter and Mary Sue. That's a problem with Siri in the game. Siri in the game, she's very cookie cutter and Mary Sue, dime a dozen game character. And she shouldn't have been, because she wasn't in the novels. She's a fascinating character in the novels.
Bottom of the sea.
She's one of those people I don't like her. She's a horrible person, but she's a fascinating character. The mouse just ran away. Okay, we completed a quest that we were intending to complete, but I knew there was a box over here, so we grabbed it. Is that... is this the wyvern right here? Yeah. Oh, it was a folktale. It wasn't a wyvern. Okay. It was a drake in it. And we got a sunset happening. Yeah, the sunset's a yellowish. So we want to continue on towards Avallac'h. Hi, cat. What you doing? You run through faster than rest of this. Okay, well, let's see. Is that Avallac'h right there? I can see it. Okay, it's right there. So we want to go this way. Also, he is going incredibly slow. He's slowed down. I know, he always moves slow. But he's much slower now because he is overburdened, so we probably should call
How did you fare on
Also,
Bald
it's
Mountain?
getting close to 3 hours? Yeah, kind of. 2 hours and 30 minutes. Also, if you're watching this on Twitch, Twitch has a quality thing that it does. I can upload these completely, what do you call it, the 4K, I can upload this with 4K on YouTube. So when you watch these videos on YouTube, you get really high quality footage that you're seeing. On YouTube, you are seeing the game the way I see it. However, Twitch has a thing when you upload the videos have to be under, they have to be under 20 gigabytes video file size. Has to be 19 gigabytes or less. It can't be 20 or more, so 20 is too much, 19 is good. The problem is, because I'm recording on very much high settings, these are 30 to 40 gigabytes each file. So the original quality file I can upload to YouTube, and you can see the graphics on YouTube the same way I'm seeing them. But if you watch them on Twitch, I have to re-render the file to make it be lower quality before it will be small enough file size to upload to Twitch. So if you're watching this on Twitch, you're seeing really low quality. If you want to see it at the full original high quality, you need to watch it on YouTube. The videos are uploaded both to Twitch and YouTube usually. They're uploaded to YouTube, and sometimes, most often, they're also uploaded to Twitch. Also, not my regular YouTube channel. If you go to my regular YouTube channel, they're not there. I made a new YouTube channel. I just made it, what, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's brand new, so it has no subscribers or anything on it. So if you follow me on my regular YouTube channel, go over there instead to find the Witcher stuff, because the Witcher stuff's on a different channel.
I warned you it could happen.
It's a Cult of Avallac'h. Just look up Cult of Avallac'h, you'll find it. Okay, so if we swim across at this point, Loric's right there. I can see it. It's right ahead of us. Instead, we're going to walk around, because we always swim across, but then we miss out on the stuff over here because we do always swim across. So today we're going to walk around, and shouldn't take us that long to get to Loric. We are close to 3 hours. We're at 2 hours and 35 minutes, so we're going to stop and save when we get to Loric, and then continue on from there in another episode. So we're just going to pick flowers around on our way to Loric. Also, I see a building up there. That's the same brick building we were just at, isn't it? It is, isn't it? We're just on the other side of it now, right? Yes, it is. Okay. We should call our horse and put stuff on our horse so he isn't overburdened so much. Because injured walk has triggered. I changed the settings on this. Normally, Geralt is sprint, and then you can make him go faster to run. Normally, he's sprint, and then when he's overburdened, it triggers a walk, and then he's got slow walk that triggers during some quests. Slow walk triggers when he's with Avallac'h in the desert. And you always see people, they're like, what happened? What happened? I'm not overburdened. Why am I? No, you're not. Avallac'h's injured. He can't walk fast. And it triggers Geralt to walk the same speed as Avallac'h. Slow walk is Avallac'h's normal speed. So, you don't very often see slow walk in the game when playing as Geralt. It only triggers during a couple of quests. Triggers when he's with Avallac'h. So that he's walking the same speed as Avallac'h. And then injured walk triggers sometimes if you're hurt. And I removed it. What I did was I changed the settings. So I changed it so run and sprint are no longer a thing. And what used to be run is now jog. Jog is also a thing that Geralt has. So it's slower, it's almost a run, but it's not a run, and I should be able to trigger. I can't trigger it. Yeah, I can't trigger it while he's overburdened. Avallac'h can make like a quick run and then he stops. He can run for like 10 seconds and he stops. But it's not a full run, it's jog. So it's very slow. There's something there. Is that just a shade on the rock? It's just a shade on the rock. Yeah, it's just shade. I thought it looked like there was a box there. Wait, wait here. Let's take that look here. And walk. What is it? Run is jog. Sprint is walk. Which one are you? Wait, where are we? Are you Boris? Have we done your quest yet? Has your quest been done in this playthrough? I don't know. It looks like it has, since you're just standing here. Yeah, you're just standing here, so apparently we did your quest over there. Okay. Okay. I forgot where he was. I can never remember where he was. I always have such a hard time finding him. You're right across from Avallac'h. Can we talk to you?
What a man? Something jibber interesting.
I think that's all he says now, because the
What
quest
a
is
man?
done. Yeah.
Something jibber interesting.
Okay. How come I didn't know you were right across from Avallac'h? You know what? I think we're going to stop and save here instead of Pellar, because this is a place we stop and save. This is one of our buddies.
Splendid.
Splendid. I think it's a good idea. Okay. He's getting tired. He needs to stop. And we're close to 3 hours. We're 2 hours and 41 minutes, so this is actually a good stopping place. You know what? We haven't been doing manual saves. It's been auto-saving, but we haven't been doing manual saves. I keep forgetting to do that. Double save because, you know, game that doesn't have bugs. Okay. X. No, wait. Do this. There we go. That's better. There. Now we exit. And I'm probably just going to start another episode right now. What do we get for drinks? You still got drink. You aren't opened. You're still got drink. Okay. I don't think I need to refill drinks. I do need to get up and move around though. So I need to move my legs. So I'm probably just going to start the next episode in like 15 minutes or so. And since this is not live, that doesn't matter that much to you. Also, did we do this without changing the episode? We did. I'm going to change it right now at the end. We did. We didn't change the episode number. It says 116 and it should be 117. I forgot to change the episode number. Well, there you go. Now it's 117 for the last few seconds. Oh. I keep forgetting to change the episode number, so half the time the episode and the title is not the same as the episode it shows here. The episode and the title is right, but the episode here isn't always right because I forget to change it. Oh well. 2 hours, 43 minutes, 34 seconds. So, what are we doing? Oh, we're still on our way to the Pellar. We're going to have to do all of this again, too, because we're going back after we do Cairmorn. We're only doing all this stuff so that we have food and things and the books when we go to Cairmorn. And I just want to wander around Cairmorn, so we're probably going to spend 2 or 3 episodes at Cairmorn just wandering around exploring the caves. Because we haven't done it in a while. It's been a long time since we've been to Cairmorn. It's been 3 years since we've been to Cairmorn because the Avallac'h playthrough has been going on for so long and we haven't gotten to Cairmorn yet in that playthrough. So we're going to be exploring Cairmorn for maybe 3 or 4 episodes. I don't know however long it takes us to just explore all the caves because that's what I want to do. I want to go to all the caves and get screenshots at all the caves. So after I get done with that, we're going back to the other save file. The White Orchard save file for the third Avallac'h playthrough, where we are playing through the story. And then the... Are we in Velen or Skellige in the second Avallac'h playthrough? We're in Velen right now. We're near... Yeah. We're near the fisherman's hut. Yeah. So, we're going back to those save files. And we're not finishing playing through this save file. And in both of those save files, because we just put that mod on for the books, we're going to have to go back and do all of this stuff again, where we find these mages all over again and collect all the books. That's why I'm trying to figure out now, where are these books? And collect them all. Even though we don't need them to go to Kaer. We're at a point where we can go to Kaer, but then I just put this mod on. And we've never used it before. It's the new version of the Spelltones mod that I've used for years. They released a new edition of it, and it's all different, and we're trying to figure out how do we use this, because the controls are all different and everything. I'd like to get used to using it before I put the Random Encounters mod back. On. That way we don't have to learn to use it while we're being attacked by monsters. So, we're doing that now while we're doing other stuff. Beta's exploring now. What he's doing. He sidetracked me. So everything you're seeing us do right now with the save file, collecting the books and stuff, you're going to see it 2 more times, rather recently, probably within the next week or so, in both the second Avallac'h playthrough and the third Avallac'h playthrough. This is kind of technically the third Avallac'h playthrough, because as we're playing the third Avallac'h playthrough, we're also loading various save files from other playthroughs, so kind of still the third Avallac'h playthrough, just weirdly, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Oh, my hand is doing a thing. I have, what do you call it? Is it eczema? Is that how you say that? And it acts up sometime. I'm like, can you see that? It acts up sometime. And it's like, it almost feels like a lizard. I used to have pet snakes years ago. You know how when a snake sheds its skin and it gets like this white, weird, scaly skin that kind of pushes off, so they like have a layer of skin on top of a layer of skin. It's like a layer of dead skin. That's what it looks like. It's like I'm a snake shedding my skin right here on this. It's weird. It's like this layer of skin that has turned white and flakes off and is weirdly attached. And I'm supposed to put medicine on it, and I haven't been because I hate using medicine. I don't like putting chemicals in or on my body. That's why I don't use things like makeup or perfume. I know I'm always, you see women constantly having to put they put what, foundation and powder and stuff, and then lipstick and blush and eyeshadow, and I don't do any of that. Nothing. And I don't even use soap. I don't use soap or cleansers or anything. I just wash my face with water. I kind of can't put anything near my skin. My skin breaks out really, really bad if I try to put any type of soap near my skin. All of a sudden, I'll get pimples all over my face. It'll just like this massive bout of acne will just instantly appear within an hour of washing my face. I think the issue is I have skin that's like super oily, And if I wash with water, the natural oil stays there, so I don't have any issue. But if I wash with soap, it like deep cleans the oil away. So my skin goes hyper, creating a lot of oil to replace it. So now all of a sudden I've got pimples everywhere. I guess you would classify that as sensitive skin. I can't use any type of makeup or soap. My skin breaks out like crazy if it does. But the same thing with my hands. If I try to wash my hands with certain types of soap, all of a sudden my skin starts flaking off. My skin is so damn sensitive. But this showed up the same time when I got that weird flu thing that wouldn't go away for months on end, and I couldn't, that when, you remember when I kept trying to stream and I couldn't talk. It was like I had laryngitis and I couldn't talk. So we were playing Subnautica for a while, because Subnautica is a game where I don't know. I don't feel compelled to talk, so I just don't talk while I'm playing it. Whereas Witcher, as I'm playing the game, it's just everything in the game. I'm like, oh, I gotta talk about this, and I talk about that, and I can't stop talking while I'm playing The Witcher. And so we were playing The Witcher still, and I couldn't talk, and it was so frustrating because my throat was like laryngitis, and I would try to talk and I couldn't talk, and I wanted to talk, and it was so frustrating. So then I was like, you know what? Let's play Subnautica. So we played Subnautica, and I was talking, but it was like there was long spaces of silence because I just get so focused in, okay, we're doing this, we're building our thing, and I'm so focused in building whatever it is I'm building next that I forget to talk. I'm just focused on, we're building our sea moth, we're building our cyclops, we're whatever we're doing, we're building our base. And I forget to talk. And so that was okay. That's why there was a whole month where I streamed Subnautica, because I was, my throat was like not there. I don't know how you describe it. It was like somebody had cut out my vocal cords, and I could not talk, no matter how much I tried. And I had a really high fever. It wouldn't go down under 104. It was staying over 104. It was horrible. And it lasted for months. And it still hasn't fully gone away. It still hasn't fully gone away. And so I've had a lot of people, they're like, you've got a lot of symptoms of COVID-19, you know. And I'm like, yeah, I know. They said, did you have COVID-19? Is that what this was? Well, the thing is, I got sick June 2019. And COVID-19 supposedly didn't show up until October 2019. So if it was COVID-19 that I had, I got it, 8 months before everybody else did? And that's the thing, a lot of people in Maine got really sick between June and September. And they were looking back, it was a thing about on the news, Maine, Massachusetts, and Pennsylvania, those 3 states, got hit with what looked like COVID-19 a year before everybody else. And as the scientists here, they're in Scarborough. They set up a thing in Scarborough, which is 7 miles from where I am right now. They set up a thing. They're researching it. They're trying to figure out, was this COVID-19 a full year before the rest of the planet got it? They set one up in Boston and Pennsylvania as well, because those 3 states, people, myself being one of them, had COVID-19 symptoms a year before everybody else. It's not a small amount of people either. It's many thousands of people. Doctors just said, yeah, you got the flu, and didn't do anything about it. They just sent them home. And so now the scientists here trying to figure out, was this actually COVID-19 before China. The first person, the oldest case they've found was a Marine here in Maine. That's the oldest case, which was earlier in 2019. And they don't know because of the way COVID-19, you can't test back. So they're like, well, they look at all these symptoms and they're like, yeah, this kind of looks like COVID-19, but when we do a test, nothing shows up because it was too long ago. So whatever it is that shows up in the test results isn't still in your blood anymore. But one of the symptoms that showed up was this. It's a thing that my skin has always been sensitive, so this type of thing will show up sometimes, off and on. But it showed up then and hasn't gone away. So it's been 18 months now. This has been like this 18 months now, and it won't go away. And medicine ain't taking it away. I've got creams and stuff you put on it. Doesn't take it away. Doesn't do a damn thing for it. And I don't know why. The worst part is my lungs have pretty much shut down, which is why I haven't been able to do anything. That was why I took a whole year off from streaming, because I couldn't sit up. My lungs were so bad that every time I tried to sit up, I would just start coughing and coughing and coughing, and I couldn't breathe. It was like I breathed out, and then when I tried to breathe in, it was like everything closed up, and I couldn't suck air back in. And that hit me in March. And I've had that March to October this year. That's why in October you started seeing more videos start showing up, but from March to October there were no videos at all because I couldn't breathe. I couldn't even sit up. I've been in bed all year. It's still a problem. It's not as much of a problem if I sit here like I'm doing right now. If I just sit here and don't move, I'm okay. But if I get up to go to the bathroom is right behind the computer. So the bathroom is only like 6 feet from where I'm sitting right now. Just get up, go right there. It's right directly behind where the computer is. By the time I get to the bathroom door, I am so out of breath. Just the act of standing up out of this chair sucks all the wind out of my lungs. And by the time I get to the bathroom, I can't breathe. That's why a lot of times you'll see I'll stop and I'll be like, I hope I'm going to come back on, but I don't know if I can. That's why, because I'll get up to go to the bathroom. When I end the video, I'll get up to go to the bathroom, and I plan to come back on. I'm ready to come back on, but I am so winded, so out of breath, that I end up I have to sit down and try to just get my breath back. And sometimes I can't, so then sometimes it'll be 4 or 5 hours before I come back on, which is why you're not seeing the live streams anymore. My lungs and everything are still just messed up to the point where I still can't live stream. That's why I'm still doing the pre-recorded videos. I mean, I didn't plan to take the whole year off initially. I planned to take a few weeks off. I just, you get sick, you get better. And this hasn't gone away, and it's been months now. It's now been 18 months. It's been 18 months that I have not been able to do anything because my lungs are so bad. And I've never had anything wrong with my lungs my whole life. I'm not somebody, I've never smoked in my life. I've never done any type of drugs. I've never done anything that could damage my lungs. And yet here I am. I cannot do anything after becoming sick. And it does look like COVID-19. Like I said, the doctors are looking at it and saying, yeah, this really looks like COVID-19. The problem is I got it June 2019. And they're like, this can't be COVID-19. It didn't start till October. How are you somebody? But then they've found out that there's more than 3,000 people in Maine who were sick with what looked like COVID-19 in June, July, and August 2019. That's why there's, like I said, there's a team of scientists. It's in this area, it's in York County, where all these people are showing up, and they're looking at their medical records and they're saying, you know what, COVID-19 could have been here a full year, and the strain was less at that point, so it wasn't contracting, wasn't, what's the word, contagious. It wasn't spreading at that point. They're thinking it was a different mutation, that it mutated and started spreading, but that there was an earlier mutation that wasn't as contagious that people were getting, and because it wasn't spreading like crazy yet, they're now saying that it could have been around a full year or more before they thought it was now. I don't know. All I know is whatever this was, it hit me in June 2019, and I haven't been able to shake it yet. And we're now 18 months with not able to recover from whatever this was. It's frustrating. I hate not being able to get up and move around and stuff. I used to be so active. That's why you see me, there's a lot of things you see me doing in Witcher 3. I mean, there's stuff that I used to do. I used to have horses. I used to go horseback riding. I was mountain climbing. I did all these things. And hiking was a common thing. I used to walk 15 miles a day. That was a thing I did. I walked 15 miles a day. Every single morning with my dog. Not the dog I got now. Buddy. If you followed me long enough, you remember Buddy, the little Cocker Spaniel I had. Me and Buddy would walk 15 miles a day. I would get up every morning at 5 a.m. and we would walk. We would walk all the way to the beach. The beach is 7 miles long. We would walk all the way to the beach, and then we would walk the full length of the beach from one end to the other. It's like this big horseshoe. So you can go all the way to the end, and it just stops. It just ends because, you know, it's a horseshoe. It's like a sandbar. And then we'd go all the way back. And then we'd walk all the way back. Leave the beach and walk back, and then we would go up through the woods, and we'd go hiking up through the woods, and we'd go up to the ravine, and we'd go up into the blueberry plains. And I used to vlog it. I recorded it, live streamed it, so you guys saw it. And that was the thing I did every day. I can't do it anymore. I can barely get up and move 6 feet now. It is so frustrating because I was so damn active. I used to I used to lift weights. My brothers are insanely into weights. They're, one of them wants to look like The Rock, and the other one wants to look like Sylvester Stallone, the other one wants to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And so they've got all their books, and they've got this huge amount. They've got their own home gyms and stuff. And they've got better gym equipment than gyms do. They're obsessed with it. Really obsessed with it. Really. They are obsessed with weights and lifting weights and working out the same way I'm obsessed with Avallac'h. So, it's extreme. And because it was a thing that they were doing all the time, I was doing it. It wasn't, I don't have any interest in it. It was just, you know what, they're doing it, I'll do it with them. I could bench press 78 pounds. Most men can't lift that much. I could bench press 78 pounds. That's more than most men could do. I've got doctor's orders. I can't lift more than 10 pounds now. Because I've got this thing where my muscles, it's chronic tendinitis, but they don't know. They say chronic tendinitis is just a symptom. It's not the actual diagnosis. They don't know what's causing it. They can't figure out what's causing it. But my muscles are not connecting to my bones properly anymore. And if I lift anything over 10 pounds, the muscles just snap and break off the bones. And then I have to go in and have them sew them back on. And you've seen how many times that has happened. I've had it happen with both wrists now, each 3 different times. It's happened with my shoulder, it's happened with my knee, it's happened with my hips, it's happened with my spine, it's happened with both my thumbs, it's happened with several of my fingers. This is just in the past couple of years. I have had more than 3 dozen muscles just snap and fall off of my bones for no reason at all. I mean, something as simple as picking up a spoon to eat has caused it. It's not like I'm lifting anything or doing anything. It just happens at random for no reason. And doctors can't figure out why. They're like, I don't know. I mean, initially they thought it was ALS because that's a symptom of ALS. But now they're like, well, you don't have any other symptoms of ALS. Just that. So then they were like, well, maybe it's Parkinson's, but no, you don't have any of the other symptoms of Parkinson's. Just that. And maybe it's multiple sclerosis. No, you don't have any other symptoms. Just that. And it's like so frustrating. It is so damn frustrating to constantly be going back to the doctor and just constantly, hey, guess what? I can't move anything again. And okay, yeah, you need another surgery to sew your muscles back on and reattach things back to your bones. Great. And every time that happens, it's 12 weeks with a splint cast thing. It's not a cast. It's like a plastic thing they put on you so you can't move. Great. 12 weeks of that again. Oh. I used to be so damn healthy. And then all of a sudden, all of this stuff hits me all at once. It's so frustrating. It's frustrating to go from being so damn active. I mean, I was way more active than the average person. I suppose you would consider an athletic person, but I didn't compete in, like, gymnastics or anything. It was just, I liked going horseback riding. I liked going mountain climbing. I liked going hiking. I liked doing all these things, and I was lifting weights and doing stuff with the gym with my brothers because they were doing it. It was just a thing to do because they were doing it, so that's how I spent time with them. They're gonna do that, I'll do it with them. I was insanely active. Right now I'm stuck not being able to move for weeks on end. I hate it. I didn't realize how overly active I was until all of a sudden I couldn't be active anymore either. It's like I was doing all this stuff and it was like that was just habit. So I didn't think about it. It was just, these are the things I do, so I didn't think about the fact that how much I was doing until all of a sudden I can't do any of these things anymore. And now it's just, it's I don't know how do you, it's one of those things where you look at how much advancement we have in medicine. Why can't doctors figure out what's wrong? You know? You would think you could go to the doctor and find out, here's what's wrong, here's how we fix it, get back to normal, now you're healthy again. And I'm stuck with month after month after month after month after month of, oh yes, here, let's have another MRI. Oh, well, no, that didn't tell us anything. Well, let's go and have all these tests done. We'll run 30 more blood tests. No, that didn't tell us anything. Well, let's give you another MRI. No, that didn't do anything. How many tests do I have to have before they figure out what it is? and how to fix it. I think that's the most frustrating thing of all, the not knowing what it is. They run down the list of, well, it could be this, and 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 then they start checking off it. Well, you don't have this symptom, or this symptom, or this symptom, or this symptom, or this symptom, so it's not that. Well, let's look at this one. No, you don't have that, or that, or that, or that, so that's not that. No, you don't have this, or this, or this, or this, so that's not that. Okay, so we have a long list of things it's not. We've gone over 3 hours now by a lot. I've spent like 20 minutes bitching about the fact that I hurt. It's disrupted everything about my life. I mean, I can't even stream anymore because I can't do stuff. I can't get out and walk my dog anymore. I have to have somebody come and walk my dog for me. Frustrating because I like walking my dog and I can't walk my dog. I have to hire a dog walking group to come and walk my dog for me. I like being self-sufficient. I hate having to rely on other people. I like to be able to get up and cook my meal. I don't like to have somebody come in and cook for me because, oh look, my muscles are so bad I can't stand up long enough to stir food in a pot on the oven. Hate it. I need to stop so I can get up and move around. Hopefully, I'll be back on to start another episode in a few minutes. That was the whole reason I started this bitching about my health, because I know chances are high I'm going to get up and move, and then I'm going to be just, I can't come back on, and I want to come back on. I don't like having to not come back on. Which is why I can't do the live streams. We have to do the pre-recorded because I can't guarantee that I can sit through an entire stream. That's why you've seen some of these have ended at less than an hour because I just can't guarantee my health is going to let me sit here that long. But that's frustrating too because I've been doing this since 2004, just playing video games and making videos and stuff. I've been doing it since 2004, and now my health is at a point where I can't even reliably make videos and upload videos and do live streams anymore. Which is also frustrating because the fact that I can't get up and move around and go out anymore means I'm not seeing people every day in real life, offline life. So I rely more heavily now on interacting with people that I talk to live streaming. And I can't even do that anymore. So it puts me in a point where I'm extremely now isolated, both offline and online. Which is also frustrating. There's so many aspects of this. They're all frustrating. It's frustrating. I can't do this and I can't do that, and this hurts and that hurts, and all these things are just, they pile up into so many damn frustrations, one on top of the other. And I hate all of them. I wish doctors had a reliable way to look at when you've got whatever it is, and they can just look at it and be, this is what it is, here's how we fix it. And it's not. Medicine is not that way. Hospitals are not that way. Doctors are not that way. And apparently it's like that a lot, because you look up online forums and stuff, medical forums and things, where There are so many of them. I didn't realize how many of them there were until I started looking them up. And there's so many of them where there's just thousands and thousands, millions of people going online, and they're all the same thing. Where I've got these symptoms. My doctor can't figure out what's wrong. Does anybody else have these symptoms? What was wrong? What did your doctor figure out what was wrong? And then there'll be thousands of people answer. It's like, oh yeah, I've got those symptoms. My doctor doesn't know what's wrong either. Yeah, me too. It's like, what do doctors do? There's so many people who have the same story, regardless of what their symptoms are, where their doctors just, they can't find it. They don't know. We haven't used that sword in a while. The sword here is like, hey, I forgot about that. I just saw it. Sparta, right? That's Sparta from Devil May Cry. It's one of my favorite mods. I like that. Beta just swam to the top. Well, let's stop here because this file's going to get too big to upload to Twitch or YouTube. 3 hours, 16 minutes, and 10 seconds. I don't remember what it was last time I looked at it. Wasn't it like 2 hours and 43? Is that what I said? Spent a half hour bitching about health. I guess I'll see you in the next